This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Tuesday, July 7th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
There was a moment where a white woman that was standing by yelled out not to kill me, and as I was underneath this man struggling to breathe, I realized that she was talking about me.
An alleged racially motivated attack at Lake Monroe going viral. This morning, the message the victim wants to get out.
She drove through red lights and made her turn up here that threw both of us off the car.
A peaceful protest against the alleged attack turns violent when a car drives into the crowd. We're live with the latest from Bloomington.
I see a lot of people right now in a fog. They're just frozen.
The move to make the workplace safer. The tool, one businesswoman says, helps with meetings. And the new survey detailing what Hoosier workers want.
Well, the busy news cycle continues, and the Good Morning Indiana team is ready to break that all down for you on this Tuesday. So thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Lauren Casey. Raphael, good morning to you down in Franklin.
Good morning to you. You know, Indianapolis is known as the crossroads of America, but Todd Clawson, we are the crossroads of heat and humidity, and there's no way to get off of this interstate right for some time. We're stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. We're just cruising down the interstate at 70 miles an hour doing the speed limit, Raphael. We're not getting off anytime soon. Every day this month except one day has been in the 90s, and that one day, which was July 2nd, that we didn't get to the 90-degree mark, was 89. So we're dealing with the heat, we're dealing with the humidity, and once again today we'll deal with the chance of some spotty storms across the area. The view from IMS back towards downtown Indianapolis, looking off to the east. Beautiful sunrise taking place, and that's one thing with these clouds that have been around in the morning and in the evening hours have been very nice sunrises and sunsets across the area. It's everything in between with the heat and humidity that has not been as pleasant. Temperatures are in the 70s here this morning wherever you go, and it's not out of the question there could be a stray shower that pops up this morning, but the best potential will be later on this afternoon as we get into the peak heating of the day that we'll see these isolated storms make their way through the area. So it's a sunny day, it's hazy, it's hot, and it's humid, but if you do have outdoor plans later on this afternoon, just know, like it has been the past couple days, these thunderstorms will flare up pretty quickly. Nothing severe, but some heavy downpours and some lightning with these storms as they start to develop. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at our traffic now maps. Still monitoring this crash for you on the north side of town. This one is at 30th Street and College Avenue. Last we checked with police, they were still on the scene here working this crash cleanup. So if you're traveling through that area to avoid delays, you may want to use roads like Central Avenue. You can use Fall Creek Parkway North Drive that runs right along there to avoid any issues. We are sending our photographer Shay Goodpaster to that scene just to check it out and see if there's anything else you need to be aware of. And of course, we'll keep you updated this morning as we get any new information. It is 6:03, a frightening scene during a peaceful protest down in Bloomington as a car drives right into the crowd, hitting multiple people.
And Lauren, this incident happening after the report of an attempted lynching in Monroe County. Our Alyssa Donovan begins our team coverage this morning with the very latest from Bloomington. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning, Raphael. Hundreds of protesters had gathered here last night outside the Monroe County Courthouse and to demonstrate because of that incident that happened in Monroe County, calling for arrests in that case. Things were just starting to wind down. It was about 9 p.m. Protesters were done demonstrating. They were heading to their cars, and that's when a vehicle came through an intersection right near the courthouse, hitting 2 people. Now, what we know is that driver barreled into those protesters, hitting at least 2 people. One woman was on the hood of the car, and another man who was hit was hanging onto the window. We know that woman was loaded onto a stretcher, and we do not currently know her condition. We spoke to the man who was also hit after the incident. Somehow he was uninjured, and he described what happened.
A woman driving the vehicle came up to the stop and had started revving her engine towards us, and we tried to stop her and let her know that the crowd is clearing up, just wait a second. But she and her passenger both wanted to go right away, so they started to push, and they pushed into the woman that was with me, and when she pushed again, both of us went on the vehicle. I was just trying to block her vision so she would slow down. So I tried to pull myself as far in her way to make kind of obstruct her view. but she drove through red lights and made her turn up here that threw both of us off the car.
And the two protesters were hit after hours of peaceful protesting around the Monroe County Courthouse. Bloomington police and fire arrived within minutes, and this incident is under investigation. And the organizer of yesterday's peaceful demonstration says this incident has just fueled the fire. They plan to be out here once again today for another peaceful demonstration. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Now, as she mentioned, those protests last night in Bloomington were in response to an incident that was partially caught on camera over this past weekend. That's where a man says he was attacked and almost lynched. Our Kelsey Anderson continues our team coverage this morning with more on what the alleged victim is saying and how the city of Bloomington is responding. Kelsey.
In a video that has now gone viral, Vox Booker says men can be seen holding him against his will, shouting white power and other racial slurs. He says the men also threatened to lynch him.
Nappy-headed. What do you want to call me? About this? You with your 5 white friends? You stupid liberal.
The mayor of Bloomington has condemned what he saw in a series of videos that have now gone viral, being shared thousands of times. The video shows several men holding a black man against a tree with his arms behind his back, allegedly threatening to lynch him. Booker says he and some friends went to watch the lunar eclipse on the 4th of July at Lake Monroe. A group of men informed them that the route they were taking to get to the public access beach was on private property. But then things got hostile, leaving Booker with a minor concussion, abrasions, and patches of hair ripped out.
There was a moment where a white woman that was standing by yelled out not to kill me. And as I was underneath these men struggling to breathe, I realized that she was talking about me, not to kill me. What went through my mind is I could be the next person like that, or I could be that next hashtag.
Booker says what saved his life was friends and other bystanders staying by his side and refusing to leave. Booker called the police and the Department of Natural Resources came, but no arrests were made at the scene. DNR says its law enforcement division is working with the Monroe County prosecutor to, quote, ensure lawful resolution. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. The time now is 6:08 here on Good Morning Indiana. And now to the latest on the COVID-19's impact on our state. The State Department of Health reporting 330 new cases of the virus. Health officials reporting on Monday that 4,912 people were newly tested. 5 new COVID-19 deaths were also reported on Monday. And that brings the total number of Hoosiers who have lost their lives to COVID-19 to 2,505. In total, more than 526,000 people have been tested for COVID-19. 9.2% of them tested positive. Lauren?
In Raphael, this morning, there are more than 2.9 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 across the country since this began, and that's according to Johns Hopkins University. Medical experts are warning the country still is heading in the wrong direction. A new study finds so-called silent spreaders, those who are asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic, may be responsible for half of the country's COVID-19 cases. New cases are surging in at least 32 states, and some fear that a lack of social distancing during the July 4th weekend may cause those numbers to keep climbing. If you have coronavirus symptoms or if you are in a high-risk group, the Marion County Health Department is still offering free testing, but the locations are changing, so make note of this. Beginning Thursday, drive-through testing will be available at the Health Department's South District office. That's on South Shelby Street. That's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Testing outside of the Health Department's main office will continue Monday through Friday. You can learn more information and register to get tested at marionhealth.org/IndyCovid. And for more information about statewide coronavirus testing, you can head right over to the indychannel.com.
New this morning, getting back to work with some peace of mind. Our Rebound Indiana initiative is focused on the issues that may get in the way of you getting beyond this pandemic. Now, some people are expressing a deep desire to work more from home, concerned about their health and their safety.
As the city of Indianapolis moves forward, it will require mask wearing beginning on Thursday. But some people who work in the capital city have expressed concerns about returning to their offices. their bosses are aware.
I see a lot of people right now in a fog. They're just frozen. They don't know what to do. They're getting information from all over the board.
Melissa St. John owns Relocation Strategies in Indianapolis. She works with big local companies in finding the best ways to maximize their employees' talents in the workplace. A recent survey from Melissa found that 29% of employees want to keep working from home. 43% prefer to work from home 3 days a week. And 77% say they're just as productive when they work from home. Melissa is now using that information to create safer work environments.
Once they find out what their employees need, the path is crystal clear. Because if you don't have your employees happy and productive and engaged, your profit is not going to go up. When you have those three magic little, ingredients together, your profit goes up because your people are your profit.
One thing being done is adding stackers to cubicles to decrease the face-to-face contact between people, changing work schedules to reduce interaction in the office, and check out this mobile barrier that Melissa uses to conduct one-on-one meetings.
You just sit it on your workstation. So like I'm in an office right now that has a table where people can come in, and I have this so that I can look at what they're doing. This thing folds up and then you can carry it. And then I carry it when I go have a coffee meeting or when I have a lunch meeting.
Relocation Strategies worked with the Indianapolis International Airport. Several employees were moved off-site to provide more safety and more space. Maria Rodriguez, who runs the airport, says the pandemic has accelerated the move to let people use current technology to work from home.
You can work from home remotely very effectively, and you could manage a work group that's dispersed all over the place and work very effectively and produce a high quality product.
So whether at the airport or an office building, big changes are taking off.
How can we reconfigure so that people can feel safe, so that they are safe, so that we don't spread this everywhere?
Relocation Strategies also telling me that COVID-19 is going to have an impact on the use of those big office buildings that we see in downtown Indianapolis. And that's because some companies are either expanding to create more workspace. Others, though, are moving out because more people are staying at home to do their jobs. Lauren?
Well, Raphael, should you include a list of references on your resume? How about listing your skills and accomplishments? Up next, we get answers from a career coach on how to put your best foot forward on that all-important resume.
Plus, Lauren, the international students could be forced to make some tough choices if colleges and universities have to go back online in the fall because of the pandemic. After the break, the new guidelines from immigration officials. But first, let's check in on your forecast. A steamy one from our Todd Clausen.
Yeah, you can say that again, Raphael, as it's going to be another hot and humid day, and with the heat and humidity will come some storm chances in this forecast. Today, all the way through Thursday, it's about a 30% chance of an isolated storm. Then they'll ramp up on Friday as the cold front comes through, and that cold front will start to change the weather pattern just a little bit. We'll talk all about it coming up in your 7-day planning forecast when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on RTV6.
TV.com.
Welcome back. It is 6:16. So, Raphael, we know Hiring Hoosiers has been working for more than a year now to help you and your family find those jobs and make career changes. And that mission to us is more important than ever as we deal with the impact of the coronavirus pandemic.
So this morning, getting answers to the most asked questions about your resume. It is now time for your Hiring Hoosiers career coach.
Should you include a list of references on your resume? Actually, no. This is not necessary. Why not? Use the space on the page to highlight you. List your skills and accomplishments, and don't waste important resume space by stating that references are available. This is generally assumed. If you'd like, you can create a separate list of references to have on hand, so if the hiring manager asks you, you'll have it. So who should you ask for a recommendation? Ask your past managers, supervisors, and former work employees. They will be able to talk about your work skills and talents. What if you have little or no work experience? No problem. Your teachers, coaches, pastors, and counselors will be happy to give you a great recommendation. Include managers of any organizations where you are a member or have volunteered. Once you've made your list, choose 3 or 4 people who you think would give you the best reference. Be sure to place the name of each person, their title, organization, phone number, and email address. Start your list with the most impressive or important reference. Next, it's always best to contact the person to ask them to be your reference. This can be done in person, by phone, or email. This is a good time to have a personal conversation. Let them know the types of positions you're seeking and the skills needed for that job. You need to ask ahead so your reference will have some time to prepare. This will remind them of all your good qualities, skills, and abilities.
Thank you to our career coach. For more information on resumes and jobs, head right to our website, hiringhoosiers.com. Now let's check your forecast. And Todd, I'm going to hit the trail with my bike here in the next few minutes because I know at the noon hour it's going to be way too hot.
Yeah, you know, do it early here, Raphael. There's no doubt about that. It's still muggy this morning, but the temperature is obviously a lot cooler right now compared to where they will be later on this afternoon. Even though the temperature is a little bit cooler this morning, make sure you grab that water bottle as well as you take to the trail. And if you are just walking around your neighborhood, and drink plenty of water this afternoon as well, because you will get dehydrated very, very quickly with these warm temperatures that we'll have. So hazy morning sunshine, some spotty storms build in later on this afternoon, but look at that heat index once again today in that 95 to 100 degree range. The view from Speedway looking back towards downtown Indianapolis off towards the east as the sun starts to come up. Sunrise officially here is at 6:25 this morning, so we're just a few minutes away from that with temperatures that are sitting in the 70s. In fact, right at 70 in many locations: Greencastle, Martinsville, Bedford, Greenfield, Connorsville, 71 in Richmond, officially 72 degrees in Indianapolis. As we work our way throughout the course of the day today, already near 90 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour with the hazy sunshine. And as we work our way into the afternoon hours, we'll start to build in the storm chances once again with high temperatures that'll be topping off right around 92 degrees for your afternoon high. But the humidity level for the day today is once again right around that 70 degree mark, which is oppressive. And you can see the hour by hour breakdown throughout the day with your dew point temperatures, and they don't really budge much from that 70 degree mark. So it's going to be an uncomfortable day from start to finish. There's no front coming through, so there's not going to be a change in the air mass that's going to take place. Now, it's pretty quiet this morning. I can't rule out the chance of a stray shower flaring up this morning for you, but it's really this afternoon once again as we get into that peak heating of the day, and that you'll notice the cumulus clouds start to billow up, and then eventually some downpours will start to happen across the area. And there could be some lightning in these storms as well, but we are not expecting any severe weather for the day today. And then once the sun starts to set, that's when these storms will start to fade away throughout the evening hours. So if you do have evening plans, the heat's by far your biggest issue, and the humidity, as we're still right around 90 degrees at 7 p.m. But as the day progresses, or the evening progresses, the storm chances will start to diminish. Tomorrow back up to 93, more of the same. Hazy sunshine throughout the afternoon hours. Some storms will start to build in. It's the same for Thursday as well. Friday's the day that the front goes through, though, and that will result in more numerous or widespread thunderstorms across the area. And they could be a little stronger on Friday as well, since there's a little more forcing as the front comes through instead of just manufacturing storms the next couple days in the daytime heating. Behind that front, temperature's not much cooler for the weekend and into Monday, but it does drop us back down into the mid to upper 80s, and it looks like the humidity, Lauren, will drop as well.
Todd, thank you. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads this Tuesday morning. South of downtown I-65 and Keystone Avenue, here's what you'll face: more of that traffic shifting, ongoing construction in this area, so just use caution. The exit ramps remain open. If universities are forced to move classes online again, international students will be forced out. New guidelines from Immigration and Customs Enforcement say that students will have the first have a chance to transfer to another college offering those in in-person classes. They'll have to leave the U.S. otherwise. That news came from several times that the campuses announced that they would only be offering remote learning in the fall.
The time now is 6:23, and the new Cheetah Chase water coaster is now launching at Holiday World and Splashing Safari, and you can be one of the first to ride it thanks to Good Morning Indiana. This morning, your chance to win a pair of ticket vouchers to the parks. All you have to do right now is to be the 6th caller. The number to call, 317-269-1459. Best of luck and have a good time at the water park. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV6.
You're at Hardee's. Feed your happy.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:25 on our Tuesday. Raphael, it is time to talk about what is trending at 6. So we always tell people to move over out of the lanes if you see maybe emergency crews or construction workers, police responding to something. So take a look at this video. This is a close call that was all caught on camera. This is out in Oklahoma. A state trooper was assisting a vehicle on the side of the road there when a bolt of lightning, another incident, almost struck the ground. It nearly missed the trooper by mere feet. So we know it's dangerous out there. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol posted that video on social media with the caption, "Whoa, that was a close call." Thankfully, the trooper seems to have escaped that incident unharmed, but it doesn't make the video any less shocking. So dangerous out there, so we're glad he's okay.
Definitely, we're glad that he's okay. And a big good morning to Gerardo Becerra this morning. Gerardo is our hometown hero on this Tuesday. A shout out to him and all those who work with Indy Crime Watch and all those who are committed to making our neighborhoods better throughout central Indiana. Time now to check your forecast. And Todd, I would love to hear an ice cream truck just come down my street here in Franklin this morning, because it's going to be a hot one today.
Yeah, you know, you hear that music. I know you're the first one to run out there to the curb, Raphael. And if you do get ice cream today, you're going to have to eat it pretty quick because it's going to melt very, very quickly. So skies are mostly sunny here this morning. Sunrise officially just happened, and we'll have lots of hazy sunshine to start the day. And with that sunshine, temperatures will warm very quickly. In fact, we're into the 80s already by the time we get to 10 a.m. And then as we work our way into the afternoon hours, we'll tack on about 10 degrees to that 10 a.m. temperature for a high of 92 in the city, about 94 in Lafayette, 93 in Bloomington. And high temperatures today will be where you see there on your screen, but it's going to really feel like 95 to 100 degrees when you factor in that humidity. And just like the past couple days, there will be some thunderstorms that flare up. Not expecting severe weather, but as you saw in that video with that state trooper in Oklahoma, if there is lightning out there, it can strike 10 miles away from the center of the storm. So you have to take your plans indoors if there's a thunderstorm in your neighborhood. Even though the storms will not be severe, lightning makes every thunderstorm dangerous. We'll talk more about changes in your forecast as the week progresses coming up in just a little bit.
All right, great reminder there, Todd. Thank you. Well, you may not be able to get your favorite meal at your favorite restaurant the next time you eat out. We know many places are cutting menu items due to the pandemic. So consumer reporter John Matarese has more on what you need to know when you dine out so you don't waste your money.
With restaurants now offering dining again, at least outdoors, you might think that a return to your favorite restaurant would be like old times. But in many cases, it's not. Nothing says comfort like a familiar chain restaurant, but if you're going back, prepare for a lot less choice. Business Insider says not only will you find tables spaced apart and no more packed waiting rooms, but plastic menus have been replaced by disposable paper menus, and many items are missing. Romano's Macaroni Grill says it eliminated 30% of its items, including spinach dip and calzones. At the Outback Steakhouse, you'll find fewer choices. Their famous chocolate thunder from Down Under ice cream treat is gone from the dessert menu. The Olive Garden, meantime, has slimmed its menu by 40%, but don't worry, it still has the tour of Italy and those breadsticks. With the emphasis now on takeout, restaurants say they had to slim down their menus, and some of those items may never return. So don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good Morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. One person being treated after an overnight shooting on the far east side of Indianapolis. Police were called this morning to an area near a nightclub at 38th and North of Post Road. Officers say the victim was stable when they were taken to a hospital.
One firefighter suffered a serious injury as the extreme midday heat complicated the battle against this house fire on the southeast side of Indy. The fire started Monday afternoon on Timberfield Lane, that's near Shelbyville Road and Stop 11. Investigators say one fire suffered from heat stroke and 3 others had to be treated for heat exhaustion. A woman, her son, and some pets were able to make it out of the home safely, and firefighters were able to rescue the family's guinea pig.
Now let's take you north of Indianapolis to Delaware County. A Muncie woman will be sentenced later this month after pleading guilty to the 2019 death of her infant daughter. Sarah Stile was arrested last June on neglect charges. Investigators say her 3-month-old daughter, Shay Ann Marie Stile, died from a number of injuries, including broken bones and burns to her body.
The Tippecanoe County Health Department says it's identified a potential COVID-19 exposure at a Five Guys restaurant on the east side of Lafayette. The department says 4 COVID-19 cases linked to Five Guys on South Creasy Lane have been confirmed so far. That restaurant is currently closed for cleaning and is cooperating with the health department.
We have an update on a petition to add a guardrail along a curve on the city's southeast side. Residents have pushed for improvements on Fry Road after a crash on June the 27th killed a 16-year-old girl and critically injured another teen. RTV6 learned the request for a guardrail did not meet federal guidelines. However, a company has reached out to the city offering to donate materials and install the guardrails. On this Tuesday, welcome to Good Morning Indiana. I know that your address may say Indiana, but it really should say Humidity, USA.
Yes. Oh my goodness, Raphael, there is no relief in sight either. This has been going on for a few days now. And Todd, taking a look at your 7-day, we're not getting relief anytime soon, but what can we expect for this Tuesday morning?
You know, I think Raphael nailed it. Just slap that forever stamp on and send it off, and we'll see where it ends up here across central Indiana, because, yeah, it is hot. It is humid once again today, and really nothing changes going forward in this forecast the next couple days. Hazy sunshine to start across the Greencastle area. So you can look across the campus at DePaul University. Not a cloud in the sky and a beautiful sunrise taking place. Temperatures not bad this morning. We're hovering right around 70 degrees. That's pretty seasonable for this time of year. There's definitely humidity out there, but the temperatures will warm very quickly from this point forward now that the sun is coming up higher above the horizon. We have the chance of a stray shower this morning, but better storm chances will build in as the day progresses, mainly throughout the peak heating of the day in the afternoon hours as temperatures climb up into the low 90s. Heat index values again today in that 95 to 100 degree range. Any storms will start to fade as the sun starts to set this evening. No severe weather expected, Lauren, but heavy downpours and lightning will likely accompany these storms as they start to develop.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We do have a traffic alert for drivers right now traveling on the southwest side of town. Take a look here from our camera. This is at I-465, a little west of State Road 37. You can see the left side of your screen, traffic really picking up in that area, starting to slow down. So here's what we're looking at right now. We do have a crash blocking at least 2 lanes of traffic on eastbound I-465. This is near Man Road, and traffic is backed up to I-70. We can see the entire southwest side starting to slow down a little bit. What we know is there are 2 flatbed semi-trailers involved in this crash. One of the semis actually spilled its load on the interstate, so we have debris in multiple lanes of traffic. We know, again, at least 2 lanes are blocked at this hour. Expect delays of up to 10 minutes. And this just happened, so we'll continue to monitor this and let you know if there are any other delays for your commute. But again, this is impacting travel on the southwest side of Indy.
We'll keep an eye on that. A frightening scene during a peaceful protest in Bloomington as a car drives, as you can see, into the crowd, hitting multiple people. The time now is 6:34. And Lauren, that frightening incident happened after a member of the Monroe County Human Rights Commission says that he was almost the victim of a lynching.
Yeah, and so we begin our team coverage this morning, Raphael, with our own Alyssa Donovan. She is down in Bloomington where this all took place. Alyssa, things there are quiet behind you this morning, but bring us back to last night and what happened there.
You know what, the word that people continued to use as we talked to them last night was chaotic. And we know that this incident happened towards the end of a peaceful demonstration that happened here outside the Monroe County Courthouse yesterday evening. People were here at the Monroe County Courthouse. They were protesting specifically because of an incident that happened over the weekend on the 4th of July. The crowd was just dispersing. People were heading home, and that's when the rev of an engine caught protesters' attention. Moments later, a driver sped through a nearby intersection, hitting protesters. Now, at least 2 protesters were hit by the car. One woman was thrown onto the hood of the vehicle. She was taken away on a stretcher. We don't know her condition. And another protester tells us he was hanging on to the window trying to get the driver to stop. People began screaming and chasing the vehicle as it sped through. Bloomington police and fire quickly responded to help the woman who was hit. The man who was hanging onto the window was uninjured. Organizers of the protest say none of this had to happen.
If our prosecutor, Erica Oliphant, had already pressed charges, I'm not sure we would have even been out here today. So if she had done her job, we may have not been out here. But now this only fuels our fire even more. I promise you, I'll be right back here tomorrow at 5:30, chanting even more, and I guarantee there's going to be a lot more people with me.
All right, Patrick.
And Bloomington police are working to identify the driver of that vehicle. What we can tell you is that it was a red 4-door vehicle that they are looking for, that car and the driver. And as that organizer said, this was chaotic and frightening and frustrating after hours of peaceful protest here in downtown Bloomington. They are expected to be protesting once again today, later this afternoon. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. We know those protests last night in Bloomington were in response to the incident that was partially caught on camera over the weekend. It's where a man was attacked and says he was almost lynched. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us this morning with more on what the alleged victim is saying and how the city of Bloomington is responding. Kelsey, good morning.
Held down against his will with his arms pinned behind his back. That's what Vox Booker says happened to him in a video that has now gone viral. He tells us the men also threatened to lynch him.
I am horrified, not surprised, but disgusted.
Booker says he and some friends went to watch the lunar eclipse on the 4th of July at Lake Monroe. On their way, a group of men informed them that the route they were taking to get to the public access beach was on private property. But then, as you can see in this video, things got hostile, leaving Booker with a minor concussion, abrasions, and patches of hair ripped out. Booker called the police and the Department of Natural Resources came, but no arrests were made at the scene. We spoke to city officials who say this is not okay.
My heart is breaking for our town. This is Bloomington. And I know people like to say that things like that don't happen in Bloomington. They do. They happen a lot.
It is not ironic that this would happen the weekend of Independence Day. We have to do the work in order for all people to truly be free.
The mayor of Bloomington also condemning what he saw in this series of videos that have now gone viral, being shared thousands of times. DNR says its law enforcement division is working with the Monroe County prosecutor to, quote, ensure lawful resolution. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Well, Kelsey, thank you so much. And Indianapolis Public Schools Commissioner is taking action to address discipline disparities in the classroom. It's a problem that Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny brought to light last fall. Her report showed that black students are more likely to be disciplined and even arrested at school compared to their peers. 73% of IPS students are black or Hispanic, yet they make up 84% of out-of-school suspensions. One district commissioner wants to make changes to address that critical problem. Vanita Moore's proposal would require all IPS police officers to attend racial equity training and ensure the district prohibits employing officers with a history of excessive force or discrimination complaints.
And if we do not do something about the education that we've been providing our children in public schools, we're not, our kids, I mean, they have no hope, they have no reason to. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I feel it's very, very important.
Commissioner Moore's plan would also launch a curriculum review, including civil rights education and training for students. Now, she hopes to work with the administration to come up with a plan within the next 90 days that addresses disproportionate suspensions and expulsion rates among black students. It's a dilemma we will face for months. We want to be close to people that we like, that we love, but we also want to stay healthy. Coming up, what you should do if you get too close to a crowd and then are worried about contracting COVID-19. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV6.
Most of our competitors forced your home. That's who.
Welcome back. It is 6:42. We now want to get to the latest on the COVID-19 outbreak. The Indiana State Department of Health is reporting 330 new cases of the virus and 5 new deaths. Now, both numbers are down from those reported Saturday and Sunday. More than 48,000 total cases have been confirmed across the state of Indiana, and more than 2,500 people have died from that virus. Testing continues to increase as well, reaching 526,000 Hoosiers. 9.2 of those tests have come back positive.
And Lauren, health officials are really concerned about those big gatherings we saw across the country during the 4th of July weekend. They're hoping that those big gatherings don't cause a spike in COVID-19 cases, similar to what was seen after the Memorial Day weekend. Now, this is a video from all around the country showing hundreds of people setting aside the social distancing guidelines. An Indianapolis doctor says if you were at one of those gatherings and find out that someone tested positive for COVID-19, this is what you should do right now.
If you do hear that somebody at that party was sick, you really need to take that seriously, and you may need to quarantine at home if you interacted with them.
So listen, Dr. Belter is not holding back. He says if you begin having COVID-19 symptoms, you should go to the doctor as soon as possible. Now let's head out to Hendricks County, where thousands of students when the school year begins in Brownsburg will have to wear a mask while they're in school. The Brownsburg Community School District announcing that masks will not be optional and will have to be worn at all times, with the exception of lunch and special instruction by the teacher. They're also offering an online option, but you must enroll for that online option by this Friday. You can find more on their semester plans, a link to that application on our website, theindychannel.com.
Well, the need for mental health has never been greater. Next, we'll show you one company that's hiring Hoosiers to help the rest of us through these difficult times. Todd.
And Lauren, if you're thinking about working out here throughout the day today, I encourage you to do it earlier compared to later. As we get into the latter half of the day, we run into some issues, and that is going to be the heat and the humidity. Although it's humid this morning, temperatures are in the 70s compared to the 90s later on this afternoon. If you're not exercising and you're thinking about heading to the pool, just know there'll be some storms around that could produce some lightning this afternoon as well. Outside of those storms, though, a great pool day with that high of 92. We'll talk more about your extended forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Sandwiches. Get rallies delivered.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. With thousands of Hoosiers out of work right now, our Hiring Hoosiers initiative here at RTV6 is here to connect you with the companies in need of workers at this moment. Hostess Brands will hold a job fair later this month. They're looking for production workers. The job fair is July the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th at the Indianapolis Marriott East that's located on East 21st Street. Hostess says they will be on-the-spot job offers. Now, you need to bring your resume. Pay is about $17.45 an hour with these positions available. You can learn about the jobs and find out more about employment opportunities on our website, HiringHoosiers.com, as well as the Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page.
And so Raphael, a place that we told you about last month here on RTV6, is also hiring Hoosiers right now. The Bowen Center has 115 open jobs in northern and central Indiana. The Bowen Center is the largest community mental health center in our state. As the pandemic continues, the center continues to serve clients while social distancing. Bowen Center says it has seen huge success with its telehealth platforms. Group therapy sessions have actually been more interactive. Barriers like transportation and stigma are no longer an issue, and team members have helped people navigate through their toughest trials.
We've been able to intervene and prevent at least a couple of suicides that I was aware of, specifically because we were able to walk somebody through a crisis on the phone. Thank goodness.
And so most of the job openings that are available right now, Raphael, are for skills coaching. Right now, the entire application process, the interview, the onboarding, the training, it's all done virtually. Wow. Yeah, 95% of the patients at Bowen do have some sort of insurance coverage, but the center tells me that they also offer charity care to help eliminate that barrier. So for anyone who's interested in learning more about Bowen Center or for applying for those jobs, you can just go to the indychannel.com/rebound. And of course, we'll keep you updated. But the cool thing is, Raphael, they say that they've been able to reach so many more people just by doing telehealth. So if someone's concerned about going into work, this may be a good option. They're outfitting people with hotspots and letting them work from home.
And what I love about your story is that this center really empowers people, right? So it really helps them with what they need at the moment, which is a great thing.
Yes, and so we'll keep you updated on those open positions. A lot to fill there. Right now, we want to take a turn to our forecast. Todd Clausen is standing by. Another hot one here in the Circle City, Todd.
Yeah, not much has changed in this forecast, Lauren. From really, we started the month of July with a 90-degree temperature. With July 2nd, it was 89, but every day since has been in the 90s. And this is our first official heat wave of 2020, and highs are going to stay in the 90s here probably at least through Friday with heat index values that'll be anywhere from 95 to 100 degrees. And with the heat and the humidity will come the daily chance of some isolated thunderstorms across the area. This morning, though, no rain across the area, as you can see, with the clear skies, albeit a little bit hazy there over in the Greencastle area across the campus of DePaul University. And as far as temperatures go, a couple 60s out there now in Greenfield as well as Richmond and Columbus, 72. In Indy, 71 is the current temperature in Bloomington. So if you are thinking about that outdoor workout this morning, get it in, get it out of the way while the temperatures are in the 70s and 80s before we get up into the 90s later on this afternoon. As you can see, our temperature progression throughout the day. Already by the noon hour, our high temperature is going to be right around the 89-degree mark. Low 90s for your highs should occur right around 3 o'clock, and then still 89 degrees at 6 p.m. So that's the temperature trend. Here's their rain chance trend. You notice that there's about a 10% chance throughout the morning. I can't rule out the chance of a stray shower for you, but for the most part, we're just looking at those daily pop-up storms during the peak heating of the day with all the heat and humidity that's around, and that is the current satellite radar picture. And again, there's not a whole lot going on. But as we go over to TrueCast, showing you the future, as we work our way throughout the afternoon hours and into the evening hours, these storms will start to pop up. And just like the past couple days, they'll be very, very isolated. They'll drop some heavy rainfall amounts in some areas. You go a couple miles away and it's completely dry. That's how spotty they will be. But some of them will contain some lightning as well, and that's what makes every thunderstorm dangerous. But we're not expecting any severe weather throughout the day today. And then once the sun sets, these storms, they'll start to fade away pretty quickly. So your evening, I wouldn't really worry about the storms. Just be aware that they're going to be happening, but I wouldn't cancel any plans because of them. Sunset is at 9:16. Tomorrow, more of the same, maybe even a degree or two warmer tomorrow with highs in the low 90s. Again, a spot storm chance in the afternoon. More of the same for Thursday. Then the change arrives on Friday as a cold front comes through. Behind that cold front, temperatures just slightly cooler, around 88 degrees for the weekend with some spot storm chances. But Friday, as that front comes through, there's more forcing. All this humidity, that's the moisture in the air, that needs to be wrung out. And so Friday, I think, is the day where most of us could see some storm action. Some of those storms, Lauren, could be a little stronger than what we'll see here over the couple days when they're just popping up here and there across the area.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Want to get to a traffic alert for drivers right now. Take a look here at our camera at I-465 and Man Road. You can see now the eastbound lanes where we had two semis, some flatbeds wreck. This spilled debris on part of the lanes. You can see at least one lane remains open eastbound here at Man Road, but this is creating some delays traveling eastbound. Right now, it looks like the delay stretches all the way back to I-70, so give yourself that extra time for your commute and take it easy as you head through that one central lane that's open. The opposite direction, westbound, that's backed up actually all the way back to East Street, and that's just due to rubbernecking, people looking over and seeing what's going on the opposite end of the interstate, so make sure you keep your eyes on the roads. Give yourself extra time if you travel on the southwest side of town, and we'll keep you updated on this when we come back after the break.
The RTV6 app on your phone or streaming device.
All right, here's a look at your 7-day planning forecast for the last time until the cut-ins, of course, through Good Morning America. Lots of heat still and lots of humidity at the start of this forecast with temperatures in the 90s. Daily chance of storms primarily in the afternoon until we get to Friday. That's when the cold front comes through. That's when we have a better chance of widespread storms, followed by cooler temperatures working their way in for Saturday, Sunday, and next week as we get back down into the 80s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. And we are back here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with news, weather, and traffic updates. Keep in mind we do have those delays on the southwest side on 465 in both directions at Man Road. All your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 mobile app. We want to thank you for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana. Take a look at the sun coming up right now over central Indiana. It's going to be a hot one, so stay cool today. We hope we have a good one.